Hi everybody, I'm Chef Sandy. Welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to be back in the studio kitchen here in New York. We had season 1 we filmed in the studio. Season 2 we filmed on location in the Virgin Islands, which was fabulous and fun. And now season 3, I'm back in Rhode Island on my boat, so I'm really close to the studio. So I came in today to do some great stuff for you guys. And it's morning time here in New York. We're hungry, so we're gonna make brunch. So today we're starting with a beautiful dish. This is actually something that I got, the recipe that I got from a friend's wife, a friend that I used to work with a long time ago. And she gave me this recipe and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a blueberry mascarpone pancake casserole. So this is one of those things that's perfect to do when you have company coming and you kind of want to get everything done, the prep the night before, throw it in the fridge and just put it in the oven and bake it off in the morning. And a lot of times on charter, I don't like to do casseroles because they're not that pretty to serve and it's a little bit messy, but this one is gorgeous. So this one is charter approved. So let me talk you through the process. The first thing we're going to do is we have some pancakes here. So I'm going to tell you a secret. And I was going to say, oh, I made these pancakes myself, but I really didn't. And you don't have to. These are actually store-bought pancakes. And again, it's one of those things. You have company, it's okay to take a shortcut. And these pancakes actually work better on this recipe than the homemade ones because they're a little bit drier. So that's working in your favor. So I highly recommend just grabbing yourself some pancakes from the freezer section. And then we're going to cut them in half. And this is mascarpone cheese. It's a lot like cream cheese, but it's a little bit sweeter. It's not too sweet, it's not overly sweet. And I'm just stacking them here in my little baking dish. Now I'm doing a small batch just for the studio today, but you can certainly adjust this and scale it to however many you want to feed. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop right there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk together my wet ingredients. So I have, for this size batch, I have 1 egg, and then I have a half a cup of heavy cream and a half a cup of milk. Okay, so we're just gonna put that in. And then I have about a tablespoon of maple syrup. So we're going to get a lot of beautiful sweetness from that maple syrup. And then when we finish it, we'll also pour a little bit of maple syrup over the top, mixed in with some butter. And that gives the edges just a nice, really nice, crispy, crunchy coating. Okay, so once this is all whisked up together, we are just going to gently pour this right over the top of our pancakes and just get them you know, soaked as much on the top as you can, but they'll also absorb it from the bottom. So don't worry if you don't hit every bit of the pancake. So this will go, we'll put our blueberries on, and this will go into the refrigerator overnight. And because I wanted you to see the finished product, I went ahead and did one ahead. So I'm just going to show you this process. I'll put on my blueberries. These are beautiful fresh blueberries, locally grown, absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of blueberries grown right in New Jersey. We have a lot of great produce here in this area, so it's really fabulous. Great corn, blueberries, all kinds of good stuff. So what we'll do with this is we'll just take this, wrap it up, and we will stick it in the fridge overnight. And I will, when we plate the rest of our items, I'll bring out the one that's already prepared for us today. We'll also be cooking up some bacon, and that's gonna go with our dessert item, with our breakfast items. The other thing we'll be doing is a pumpkin spice donut. That's delicious, and you know, the pumpkin is all the rage these days, so we'll be doing a pumpkin spice donut. That's new on my menu, and it's just a little bite. I like to make a miniature donut, so you'll see they're very cute. And then we're going to also have a beautiful fruit salad that I do on charter. That's a lot of fun that our guests really love, and you'll see it has a little twist to it. So you'll see that in a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and reset here, and I'm going to move on to the donut, and we'll be right back in a few minutes to do that. Experience the wonder of a holiday at sea in the Virgin Islands or New England on your very own private yacht. You'll experience a fantasy-filled week of white sand beaches, amazing sunsets, gourmet meals, and the best time you can possibly imagine. Make memories with your friends and family that you will never forget. Email us at info@sailthedream.com or visit www.sailthedream.com for more details. Have you ever said, I'll take that dream vacation someday? Well, at Cool Cat Charters, someday is now. We offer all-inclusive private yacht charters at every price point, for the more budget-minded traveler up to a full luxury experience. Come celebrate your special occasion or just schedule a family getaway in the gorgeous Caribbean islands. Sail the beautiful islands of the Caribbean and see why so many people just can't get enough. Visit coolcatcharters.com to see a listing of our featured yachts or contact us to learn more about the many other sailing and motor yachts available for charter in the islands. Okay, so now we're back to do our pumpkin spice mini donut. So what we have here is 2/3 of a cup of flour. And again, I'm making a small batch because we're just in the studio. So you can certainly adjust these proportions up if you'd like to make a bigger batch. And what I'm going to do is mix up all of my dry ingredients. So my flour goes in, then I have a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I have 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in here. I'm using my beautiful Himalayan pink salt that my sponsor provided, so we really appreciate that today. It's a beautiful product, and it has lots of great minerals there as well, so it's even good for you, which is fabulous. So we're just going to mix these dry ingredients together. If you have a whisk or a fork that you can use that too, probably might work a little bit better than my spatula, but that's okay, because when I do my wet ingredients, I'm going to be using my spatula to fold those in. So let's talk about the wet ingredients. We'll first do a 1/4 cup of milk, and then we'll follow that up with a tablespoon of butter. And that's, that butter is melted, so it's going to blend in real nicely. And then we have 2 tablespoons of pumpkin pie puree. Now this isn't just pureed pumpkin. This is the one that actually has the spices in it that you would use to make a pumpkin pie. If you get just regular pumpkin puree, just go ahead and add some nutmeg and cinnamon and a little bit of sugar to your liking. You can taste it along the way as you go. But this one has a little bit of those seasonings already added in, so it's really got a nice flavor. And in addition to that, there was about 1/3 of a teaspoon of dried pumpkin pie seasoning, okay? And you can just get that in the spice aisle, and that's delicious. Okay, so we're just gonna mix that in together, and then we will be folding this into our dry ingredients. You may be noticing that I have a couple of things on the side that we didn't add in, and I will tell you why. That is because we are going to, once these come out of the oven, we'll be dipping the tops of the donuts in the butter and then rolling them in, this is a cinnamon sugar mix that I made. It's probably about 2 tablespoons of sugar and maybe 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. You always typically have more of your sugar than your cinnamon, but you can certainly do it to your taste. All right, so once this batter is all mixed up, that looks perfect. What I like to do with this, because as I mentioned, I like to do a mini donut. And it can be hard to work with the dough and get it into your little donut pan. So what I do is I put this in a Ziploc bag, and then I just cut the corner off that bag, and I just kind of pipe it in there. So I'll show you what I'm talking about once I just get that all incorporated. Looks good, okay. So here is my Ziploc, pardon me, just reach over there, and I'm just gonna open them up, and we'll just put this right in. If you have time, it's ideal to let a batter like this rest for at least 30 minutes. So I actually prepared one last night, and I let it rest overnight, so all the protein in that flour relaxes, and you just get a little bit better product. So now I'm just coming in, and I'm just gonna snip the end of my Ziploc off. You could also use a scissor for that, but I don't have one handy. And then my cute little mini donut pan is right here. And I've already piped in a couple. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys the process here, just super simple. You don't wanna fill these too high, because they're gonna rise up a little bit. The leavening agent here is the baking powder. There's no egg, so they'll rise a little bit. So I'll just put these 2 in. And a good tip also is that if you're doing a smaller batch and you have a pan that has larger capacity, if you want it to cook a little quicker, if you kind of leave some holes like this, leave some spaces between where you put in your batter, it'll cook a little bit faster. So since we're in the studio, that's what we're going to do today. We're not gonna make a huge batch of these. Okay, maybe one more. And then we are going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 11 to 15 minutes. I'll keep a close eye on it. So I'm gonna put that in, let those bake, and then we're gonna come back and do our fabulous fruit salad that's super cute. You're gonna love it. And once these finish baking, we'll put our little topping on, and then we will be ready to have our brunch. So we're super excited here in the studio, and we hope you join us for brunch, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes once we get these out of the oven. Hi everybody, so we are back and we are just about to plate up our gorgeous breakfast. So I'm gonna first do our fruit salad. So this is a super fun salad that I love to do on charter. Like I said before, everybody gets a kick out of it. So what we're going to do is we're actually gonna make a little dolphin out of this banana. So there we go. Sometimes that's a little tough to cut through. So we're going to cut off the end of the little stem because it's kind of brown on the end. We don't want that. And now we have a really pretty little end of the banana. I'm just going to take my knife. This is really best to do with a real sharp knife, but you're going to just put the tip of your knife in, and we're going to cut that right in half, okay? And you'll see why in a moment. Now, we're going to, first I'm going to make sure that really got a clean cut. Oh, it's perfect. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to cut them down this way, and I usually have to do this a couple of times because wherever I cut the first time winds up not being exactly right, but we'll get it. So I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to go this way. Now, this is going to actually be a dolphin, so I'm going to put him down. He stood up. That never happens on the first time. So that's our dolphin. That's our tail. Okay, so now I'm going to take, this is the head, and I have a little marker, and I'm just going to make a little eyeball here, and I like to give them little eyelashes to make them cute, and the same thing on the other side. Boom, boom, boom. And when I have a little silver Sharpie or white one, I like to just give him a little gleam in his eye, to give him a little accent. That just makes all the difference. He's happy. Okay. And so then I like to take a blueberry and we'll give him a little ball to play with. So that's why we slit open his little mouth, okay? So we'll just put that little blueberry right in there. How cute is that? So we'll turn him around this way, okay? And let's see, I'll do the other one real quick. And then after we do this, we're just going to plate some grapes and some of our beautiful raspberries over there. And the red grapes and the green grapes. Now there's no way I'm gonna get right the 2 times. See, there you go, see, he fell. So I can tell because he's falling, I need to take some off of this end. I probably should have quit while I was ahead, right? But you know, that's the real deal. That's what really happens on charter. Okay, his backside is good. We'll just give him a quick couple eyes. We'll give this guy like little peaky eyebrow. Oh, he looks a little angry, but that's okay. Okay, there we go, boom. And can't forget his toy. There we go. Everybody loves this fruit salad, and it's so funny because no one will eat the head of the dolphin. Everybody always eats the other end of the banana, but everybody says they just don't have the heart to eat the head. So I like to just go ahead and put some other fruit around. Whatever you have, whatever you like, whatever your guests like is perfect. And I'm just doing some pretty grapes because they kind of complement each other. I want to make sure you guys can see both of my dolphins. And there we go. How about that? Okay, I'm happier now. Okay, and let's just put some little raspberries down in the front. You can obviously do this with cantaloupe, watermelon, whatever you have, whatever you like. Okay, and we'll just throw some blueberries down there too because we have them and they are gorgeous. Okay, so there is our gorgeous fruit salad. So that's going to offset our decadent other desserts that we have. First, let me grab our donuts. Okay, so we are going to finish these up by dipping them first in a little bit of butter and then rolling them in some cinnamon and sugar. So I'm just gonna lift them out. Beautiful, really super cute. Okay, there we go. Awesome. I melted my butter previously and it solidified a little bit, but my donuts are hot enough that they're just perfect. I think I'll go ahead and I'll plate these right here on the fruit plate, so that'll be great. And look how pretty those are. Those are just so nice. And you know, pumpkin spice is always good. I also do an apple cider version of these that's really nice. And since they're baked and not fried, they're obviously a lot healthier for you. Okay, I'll just go ahead and ice one more, and then I will put the finishing touches on our beautiful blueberry casserole, our pancake casserole. Okay, so there's one more donut for us. Now, I pulled my blueberry casserole out of the oven, so it's not too hot, so I'm able to pick it up. And I'm just gonna put it right here. And what I'm going to do, first I think I'll turn it around that way. I think that's a prettier side. I have a little shaker of powdered sugar, and I just like to shake this right over the top. Just like that, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And then I like to serve that with just a little shooter of maple syrup. So here we go, alrighty. So that's our gorgeous brunch today. We also have some bacon that we have in the oven. We'll be pulling that out in a minute, but this is it, and this is beautiful. We're gonna enjoy this. This is one of our fun things we do on Charter, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Yacht Chef Sandy. Please go visit my website, yachtchefsandy.com, and from there you can find links to follow me on Facebook and Instagram and some fun recipes. And also, please check out my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of fun stuff going on there, and we hope to see you there soon. All right, have a great one, and we'll see you next time.